First off, I can't be the only one, man. Just look at these two, man. Like they ain't got to wrestle, they ain't got to talk, they ain't got to do nothing for me. I could just sit here for 2 hours, just look. My goodness. All right, what's up, YouTube? Smackdown, May 3rd, Friday. Listen, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I think this was a great episode. This is one of the best SmackDowns we've had since the ones leading up to WrestleMania. Wasn't a lot of filler. I mean, wasn't a lot of bullshit. Got straight to it. No real boring individuals that they're forcing down our throats that I had to watch. And this here will be the first time I actually do a thorough one. I'm going to try to cover everything as much as I can, right? So they started off, first off, man, shout out to that crowd before I even get into it. This is one of the best crowds I've seen, and they are a big part of the reason why this show was successful. Those who should be booed were getting booed, and it seemed sincere boos. So those who are supposed to get cheered were getting cheered, right? Faces cheered, heels booed, and the crowd had no agenda. They had no particular favorites that they're going for. That goes against really what WWE was trying to script. It was great. It was seamless right into it, and that's great. There were times those crowds were going crazy, and pretty much everybody was getting love. All of the WWE superstars, you could tell those people are real fans of the sport. Okay, so we start off first with an 8-woman tag match, which I didn't expect. That they would do this. At the time when I first saw it, I thought it didn't make sense. Like, what the hell are they doing this for? IU got damage control, and you just throw Tiffany Stratton in there with damage control without any type of setup. There was no backstage of them talking to each other. Nothing other than damage control kind of watched Tiffany mess up Bayley and Naomi's match, and then they kind of laughed. That's like the only thing I saw. All right, so maybe that was their half-hearted attempt at a setup to this. I kind of believe they just just threw this together earlier in the week, to be honest with you. But whatever, what they do know is who people want to see. They had the setup for Backlash. I forgot what it's called, but the kickoff. They had the kickoff party earlier, and Tiffany got a pretty good reception from the crowds. Those people in Europe, they really love her, almost worship her. But what I saw was it wasn't as ridiculous as they were in Australia. I thought they showed pretty much everybody love, man. It was good to see Naomi get love. It was good to see Bayley get love. All of them, not just Tiffany over people like Liv and nonsense like that. So I really like this crowd. All right, so but they throw Tiffany in with damage control, and then you have Naomi and Bayley come out, which I mean they gotta face each other tomorrow. So that is weird, but I mean it's established that they have some type of respect for each other, so they keep it healthy. Still kind of strangish. All right, and then you have Bianca and Jade come out, to join and the crowd seemed to really like them. That I ain't gonna say it surprised me, but it kind of did. They really liked them. I didn't know how they would receive them. I remember that crowd out in Australia when they did the kickoff show before the Elimination Chamber. I remember Bianca Belair being one of the people who came out to help kick it off, and I remember the pop was hardly nothing, but when Tiffany, who hasn't done anything, comes out, oh, they're going crazy, and I just remember that, like, what the hell's up with Europe? What type of time are they on? But France is different, man. I think these people are more so real fans. They're not just only, cheering their home people or cheering whatever superficial stuff that they like out of certain superstars over others. So this was a pretty good match here. It really was. It told a number of different stories. It showed Tiffany Stratton's arrogance, hitting Jade Cargill in the face during that match at that one time. I thought that was funny. Jade never got a hit back, which was crazy. The one difference here, Jade doesn't get the pin. I believe Bianca Belair gets the match ends by KOD with Kyrie saying, but all the ladies got a chance to get their get their hits in and do what they do off. Now, what was interesting, one of the interesting stories from the match was Bianca Belair holding a grudge against Bayley, apparently. Still holding on to the fact that Bayley was part of Damage Control. And that for the last 2 years or so, year or more, Damage Control, were constantly in a feud with her. And she's still holding on to it. And it looks like Bayley's trying to move on. And Bianca's not caring. And that makes you wonder. And what's going to happen, I already know right now, there's going to be a number of content creators who are going to come out with this theory that these are signs that Bianca Belair is going to go heel. All right. And I'm going to be one of the lone voices out here to tell you that that isn't necessarily the case. Now, it could be that they're hinting at something, but I'm going to explain in full detail why it's unlikely that they would go that route. There are some content creators who think that there could possibly be tomorrow at Backlash a loss for Bianca and Jade, and the purpose of the loss would be to kind of break them up before they get started, which I don't see. I don't see it. I think it's what they're trying to do is just show a realistic breakup between Bayley and Bianca. That's kind of where I am with it. All right, so next you have a backstage promo with which really showed starts off as Jade and Bianca being interviewed, and what you have is first Jade talks and then Bianca talks, and then Bianca gets into this whole thing, and then he pans over to Bayley and Naomi sitting there, and Bianca again bringing up Damage Control and kind of implying that she has an issue with Bayley. Bayley walks off, and this is going to further the theories of her turning heel. I know that's coming, but I'm telling y'all that isn't necessarily the case, at least no time soon. All right, next we have another backstage promo, and this is Lashley and Carmelo. So first, Carmelo, he's being interviewed by was it Michael Cole, one of them, and talking about what happened with him and Cody, so on, and how he feels good about the whole thing. Bobby Lashley shows up, and there's a brief little segment between them. And the whole purpose of it was to show Carmelo, he's young, he's arrogant, he's talking about he doesn't need it, he doesn't need anything. Bobby Lashley letting them know, hey, look, young boy, if you ever need anything, I got you, just call me, blah, blah, blah. Carmelo is saying, no, I'm good, I got this all figured out. And then Bobby just kind of lets him know, hey, listen, be careful who you disrespect around here. Because what Carmelo said to him was like, when is the last time you shot your shot? After Lashley reminded him that he lost. That's the reality. All right, so I thought that was a cool little segment that they did. And this is good, man. Like I said, this thing was bang, bang, bang. Very well written. Very little filler. No bullshit matches. Well, with the exception of what came next. Here we had a match between Karrion Kross, with his group called the Final Testament, those two big beastly dudes, Paul Hellering's new Road Warriors, and then against New Catch Republic. New Catch Republic has one of these groups that I hate to say it, when they come on, this is when this is the time when I go to take a pee if I got to pee. This time I go, if I got food and I need seconds, this is when I'll go make my plate. I just don't have to be up on watching them. I just knew, okay, there's no way they're going to beat these two big dudes. And, of course, that's pretty much what happened there. They had the Final Testament beat them, getting them back for something that happened at NXT. All right, moving on. You had a backstage promo with Paul Heyman and the GM of SmackDown, where Paul Heyman is putting it out there that, the new bloodline is different. It's different, and he suggests, hey, look, man, Roman Reigns and everything is professional. These dudes are on some other stuff. I suggest they pull out. So he tells them, which leads to the next segment, hey, look, you want Kevin Owens and Randy Orton to pull out, you have a chance to ask them to do so. So next segment, you have the Randy Orton and Kevin Owens RKO show. And then during this time, Paul Heyman comes out, of course. And it's one thing leads to the next. Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga attack them. And then you have a rumble that ensues. This is just basically to promote the match that they're going to have tomorrow. No problem, no harm, no foul. Not a bad segment. At least it isn't filler that serves no purpose. So I'm cool with that. And then the next thing you have is a backstage promo by the Street Profits, which was cool. You know, I have a problem with it, man. And it was good to see that the amount of love that the Street Profits got from that crowd. That kind of, was pretty good. I really, really like that crowd, man. Shout out to them. I bet it's Lyor France. And then you got next is LA Knight versus Angel. This is basically about, LA Knight out there just, I guess, they putting him on display because he's a guy that, a lot of the wrestling fans, they like and they want to see. Basically, Angel was getting jobbed out. He just got dominated in this match pretty much. And this was followed by one of the leaders of that particular Hispanic faction, a Latino faction, just talking some stuff to LA Knight. LA Knight announces that he's in the King of the Ring, which is coming up after Backlash later in the month. So, next you have the match between Street Profits and H-Town Down Under. And predictably, H-Town Down Under wins. I don't know where they're going from there. Are they going to start a feud between the Street Profits and H-Town Down Under? But I figured H-Town Down Under would win. They're not going to lose the belts that quick after they just won them. So knowing Triple H, this will probably be a feud that's going to go on for a few months. It could end in Street Profits winning the belts. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. Hopefully they'll look towards maybe breaking Street Profits up, but that's what I would do. Then to end the show, you have the AJ Styles face off with Cody Rhodes, which, whatever, wasn't bad. I mean, this is what you have to do to promote the events of Backlash tomorrow. It was okay. I don't have a problem with it. It wasn't horrible. AJ Styles talks about his history and it versus Cody Rhodes. He's saying it wasn't the same type of thing. I had to work for mine. You were given what you have. You had the father, so on. You had the privilege, and then even when you win your belt, you got the damn Undertaker, John Cena, and all these people showing up to make sure you win. He said, I ain't never get none of that type of shit. I had to do it from the muscle. This is the difference between you and I. And just like all those guys I beat before, I'm going to beat you. So pretty good promo. I think what AJ Styles said was pretty much he was the star of this particular promo. Cody really didn't say much, as usual. And this is what I say about Cody. I don't believe Cody sucks. I don't believe Cody is just boring or anything like that. I think Cody is mediocre. I think he's mediocre with it. The lisp that he has doesn't help. It can affect how cool your delivery and stuff like that comes off. Just going to be honest. And pretty much Cody without that song, I really don't know where he'd be. It seems like, I don't know if the people love him or the song more. You know what I mean? So pretty much that ended out that SmackDown. And this was, I felt, a really good show. I thought so. Yep. I don't really have any complaints about it, man. So next, I'll be predicting what's going to happen at Backlash. I think it's a very predictable one, to be honest with you. So, till then, peace out.